it seems like each one of you may have different strategies, so I'm just checking. Deal flow, like how are you acquiring these sub-2, these lease options? How are you getting them? Are you talking to the sellers directly, or your acquisition? Do you have acquisition people? You know, what's kind of your guys' strategy?
What lists are the best for, those types of
Do you want to go first?
For me, I mostly just people bring me deals. And I was telling Brandon earlier, a lot of my deals come from realtors in my office. My best deals ever have come from realtors right inside my office, bringing them to me like, hey, Winnie, I got a question for you. I got this deal. And I'm like, oh, what are you gonna do with it? Oh, I don't know. I don't have the money to buy it. I'm like, well, what would you want for it?
Wholesalers don't like working with realtors.
Well, that was a realtor.
Well, they weren't even, they were
working
realtors.
with
Like
the broker that
one
has
of my
all the
best
money.
deal ever was a probate realtor in my office. So I like to get to know everyone. And then I said, hey, if you ever have a question on a probate thing or the investor end of that, even though I don't specialize in probate, she came to me and she goes, hey, I've got this deal. And she goes, can I talk to you about an investment deal? And I go, sure. She sits down, she goes, it's in Detroit. And I go, I don't do Detroit. She goes, it's an apartment building. I go, well, I really don't buy apartment buildings. She goes, it's right by Wayne State University. And I go, tell me more. Anyways, it's right by this little area in Detroit called Midtown. And I bought it for what the people paid for it in 2003 or 5 or whatever. And just paid them off. It was a woman who her daughter owned it, and her daughter had no children, no husband, and the mom got it. The mom lived in California. She just said, hey, my daughter paid 200 grand for this. I just want 200. It's like an 8 unit and it cash flows at 10 grand a month. Yeah. Well, it does now that I turned it around.
Are you selling that or?
I'm selling it. It's in my Roth IRA. My manager doesn't like to manage in the city that much. And she is doing it for me until I turn that around. But I love buying my Roth IRA like those guys talk about, because it'll probably net, $500,000 to $600,000. And after all the rehab is done, and that's gonna be tax free.
Yeah. To your question, for us, we were driving
Maybe
yesterday.
For you or me or what?
Us.
Oh,
Right, I said us. Did I say us? We were in the car yesterday, got a phone call from a really large wholesaler in Dallas, right? And he goes, Nick, man, things are starting to dry up. I go, okay, well, that sounds like a personal problem. But I continue on. And he goes, well, and I asked the question, and he goes, I really want to get back into creative deal structuring because these wholesaling deals are getting harder to come back. I go, no.
he did 101 deals last year.
Did 101 deals in Dallas, Texas. There's guys that do more, but hey, in a major market, you do 100 deals in a competitive landscape, that's pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go, great. I go, well, how many? I go, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you convert 20%, which he goes, well, that's exactly what I converted because I did 100 deals and I had 500 motivated sellers contact me. I go, great. What the hell happened to the other 400 people that raised their hand and said, I want to sell you my property? How come you didn't get those deals? He goes, well, what do you mean, how come I didn't get those deals? I go, he goes, well, I go, how come you didn't get them? He goes, well, the seller didn't take my offer. I go, what offer? My cash offer. That's what we just talked about. You guys are already in the know, okay? Yeah. And what I'm trying to get to is this, you're the exception to the rule. There's guys that do 100 deals a year that do not know how to do this strategy.
Yeah, they have four acquisition people in there that are not even
in
having
an office,
a
and they have overhead, and they have skip trace this and leads that, and they're missing out on 400 deals. Now, are they going to get all 400 of those sellers to go creative? No, but I can tell you what, it's going to be more than what they're getting right now.
Yep.
And that's what you guys have the ability to take advantage of, is find those guys that aren't as smart as you guys are and go get the deals done. Just that simple.
That's right.